What is up, writers? My name is Achilles, and welcome to Toku Tuesday night. And you might be thinking, why? Why are we on so freaking early tonight? It's because we have a special guest. I'm literally doing this intro for because I can see them laughing out of the corner of my eye. Tonight, we are talking about Power Rangers Dino Fury with the lovely Prawnhorn Heroes. Say hello, guys.
Ow.
Hello.
What's going on, everyone? So nice to
How's-
be here. How's everybody
Oh, I
doing?
am in this camera shot. I am good. Hey, Fatigue, how's it going? Yeah, so we are talking about Power Rangers Dino Fury because I've watched it once. How many times have y'all watched it?
I've seen it about 7 or 8 times now.
I've seen it like 4 times.
It's honestly it's better. It's better every time, and I'll probably watch it again tonight after this. Honestly,
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I was like, man, I want to talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury. Let me call up the Masters, who have obviously watched it 1,000 more times than I have. So if I don't know Mama Dinosaur's name, forgive me, Gem and Fee will know.
I will help out with as much as I can.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
What is, just to starter question, what is Mama Dinosaur's name?
Mama Dinosaur. Are we talking about red dinosaur?
The dinosaur that like is in the
Friend?
spaceship.
Sol-
Oh, Solon.
Solon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna stay Mama Dinosaur for me for this. For the
I
purpose
love
of
that.
this
I love
video.
no Mama Dinosaur. Mama Dinosaur is amazing.
Mama Dinosaur. It is. There was
Yeah.
another thing I was gonna ask you, and I forgot what it was. God, I'm such a bad host. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay.
Zay says Solon is voiced by Morgana from SPD. Oh, sick.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a tweet. Yeah, there was a tweet that's that got sent out. I think it was yesterday or something, and that was really interesting to me because we haven't seen her in the franchise since.
It was a dope. I think she had a good voice. Okay, let's start on Solon. Let's start on Mama Dino.
Please,
that's
yeah.
what I was gonna say. By the way, everyone, me and Gem and Fee have already discussed this. If we call it Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, Dino Hexagon, forgive us
Yeah,
because
seriously.
it's been happening all day.
I think when you grow up with Dino Thunder and you get introduced to Dino Charge, and then you have now a Fury, it really just jumbles, and,
So
and it's
much.
really hard to keep up. But
Yep.
you know, we're trying our best.
Next up, Dino Force, and then they already have a
I can
Dino
see
Force,
it.
don't they?
I can see it.
Do they?
What's up, Hooked on Henchins? How's it going? Yeah, it's Dino Force
Hey,
Brave.
Hooked on Henchins. Yeah, it's the Korean Kyoryuger, essentially.
There's so many. There's so many.
I was gonna. I had a question and it's gone now. I hate that happens.
Okay, let's get to the episode because I'm making you forget questions. Let's talk about Solange, right?
Yes.
That's Solon, yeah, with an N.
Correct.
Yeah.
Solon.
Right.
Okay,
Solon.
I'm calling her.
Speed.
I'm calling her Beyonce's sister. Hooked on Hedges, thank you so much for the 5-month resubscribe. Blah, I can't talk. Okay, Solon. I think having a mother figure to one of the Rangers is a super dope idea.
Oh my god, it's so smart.
Definitely.
Like,
Honestly,
I feel like.
if
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
I was just gonna say, if not for like not having that looking for the parental figure thing, like he's clearly set in his ways, and she clearly has a relationship with him. Like that's not a worry for this season. you know?
Yeah, I was worrying we were gonna go the Andros route where like
Oh,
it's just the Lone Ranger stuck on his own, like nobody understands me, you don't know what happened to my past team. But having someone there that was there for it and was support like kind of his alpha, they're supporting him through the whole way and knows what he's gone through, that could, if he doesn't want to open up to the other Rangers for him, is a super cool idea, I think.
definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I
Another
love
cool
Solon.
thing is that they're kind of like on the same level. Like it doesn't seem like one of them is above the other. They're just kind of like comrades,
Yeah.
and they're like same age. So it's like not just like treating her like she's some sort of like robot or like side character. They're like equals, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
I
she's
think a
definitely seems like
question you
the
had-
keeper of the keys, right?
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Because
definitely important.
the fact that she shot that henchman key over to them, it made me feel like she was like the Mick, from Ninja Steel, or
The other
like
two, too.
Keeper from Dino Charge. Like it just it felt like that way.
Yeah.
Terrible
Yeah.
interception, Mama Dino.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna mention she had asked me, and I couldn't answer this because even though I've seen it like 7 times, I still couldn't answer that. But is Solon a dinosaur from Rathcon? Is she a dinosaur from, because like she is a dinosaur, but like
Mhm.
how does
But
she
also a
look like a
robot.
dinosaur? You know, like where's she
Okay,
from?
so
You
there's a
know?
line where he goes, I think it's Amelia, where she goes, "You're a cyborg dinosaur," and then
Mm,
she goes, "Yeah, I'm a blah 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 saurus," which makes it sound like
Dilophosaurus, yeah.
cyber dinosaurs are just a thing. Like,
Mm,
like it makes
okay.
it sound like there's nobody worked on her or anything. She's that. She's always
She
been
is
that.
just that, right?
Yeah.
Like a cyborg.
So I think she is from that other spot, which
Right,
would be
Rathcon.
interesting of like, yeah, Rafcon. Which would be
Mhm,
interesting of like, hey, this is how we got the dinosaurs of Earth on our side because we had dinosaurs helping
Mm,
us from our home planet.
yeah. Or
definitely.
like they could communicate with them or something
Yeah.
like that. Or
Yeah.
That would definitely clear some stuff up, honestly.
Zay says, I love how they didn't abandon the night theme from Ryu Soldier and made Zeto's home planet Guardian Knights.
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
I like that as well. Something that I was very hesitant of going into the season was seeing how they were gonna adapt the night aspect. And I think I don't know if we knew if they were gonna be in high school or not for like the rumors or like when they were casting,
Mm.
Mhm.
but I was very worried because I was like, how are we gonna do nights in high school? But thankfully that's not the case. And I like that the night aspect is like kind of like the alien aspect. Like it's not Earth, you know, like they're not knights from Earth.
Yeah,
I like
they
that.
don't
Yeah.
even stumble on that point. They don't really focus on it much, but they're like, yeah, they're knights from another planet. Of course it's a thing. Very earthy gear for those knights. Like those are definitely like costumes they found
Definitely.
from Knights of the Round Table somewhere.
Medieval
Um
times. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
They were like, "Hey, we got these. Go. Get out there.
Let's
Shows filming in 5 minutes, guys."
Oh,
Um but I like that they
exactly.
didn't like stumble over it too much. It was just like, yeah, this is what our knights look like. This is what our culture is like, more or less.
Yeah.
Something that I thought was interesting getting into Zeto and his exposition dump at the end is that he mentions the Morphine Masters. He talks about them and he's like, I've heard of them before. And I thought that was super
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
because that wasn't like
Mm,
throughout the episode, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Power Rangers exist," obviously, which is weird because like the boss isn't like, "Hey, there's no ghosts, that's not a thing," but dinosaurs and monsters, that's a thing. Like that's fine.
oh
Um,
my gosh. I have a thing about the ghosts, but I'll get into that later. Continue. Oh
but
my
just the
gosh.
fact that he's like, "Oh, I've heard of the Morphin Masters before," makes it like opens up so many possibilities of, oh, okay, these things were around 65 million years ago. Like, what else did they do in
Yes.
that time? What have they done from now to then?
And
And like they
where?
were developed 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not like created, but like they
Mhm.
had gotten to that point 65 million years ago. So before that, what were they doing?
Oh yeah, they were already gods
Like
at that point.
and throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, I think it definitely sets up if they wanted to use them for like another season, you know, like just to throw it out there because it's space themed. Q Ranger, if they ever adapted that. I know with rumors that's not like a possible chance, but I'm saying if they were, I think that having the Morphin Masters be, you know, old, very old beings that aren't from Earth or have definitely been doing stuff in other universes or galaxies or what have you. I think that's smart to little just like set that in there.
Yeah, I think Caesar said the Morphin Masters there from the comics. Yeah, they were also in like a one-off episode of Power Rangers where they're going after dinosaur eggs and the Morphin Masters are the one that put the eggs there. And like if
Interesting.
they wanted to, because we've talked about, me and you've talked about too, how Hasbro specifically seems like they're trying to connect a lot more between their seasons. If they wanted to, the Morphin Masters could be that thread that they use throughout the season. So in
Mhm.
5 years, when you get another anniversary season that it probably isn't Zenkaiger because they won't use it, let's be honest. Like you can have the
Mhm.
Morphin Masters come down and then be the people calling all these teams together to face
Right.
this big threat.
Agree with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Absolutely.
That's how they choose to continue.
We're just spitting out theories here.
Yeah.
One thing you talked about in your video, if you haven't seen it, go to Prawnhorn Heroes on YouTube. Posted a first reactions just like 20 minutes ago because he's an overachiever. But then
Yeah,
he
a couple
posted like a
minutes ago,
deep
yeah.
dive. Then he posted like a deep dive a couple days ago, and something that I don't have a good
Congrats.
grasp on that you have an insane grasp on. Let's talk about the soundtrack of it, and I'm gonna give it all over
Oh
to
my
you.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I
Please.
mean, like, let's break it down into like the casual background music. There were like, it was very standard, like stuff that you would hear in like Japanese toku, I guess, just very like bright, playful stuff. And like that was kind of normal. Like, but something that I was glad to not hear were just like classic Power Ranger trademark melodies, like the
Dun,
like I
dun,
mentioned in the
dun,
videos.
dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
like I'm so glad there wasn't a version of that because it would have just taken me out of it and I probably would have viewed it differently. But thankfully, like all the music that was in the show, whether if it was in casual dialogue or in battle scenes or even like dramatic moments like when Zeto is explaining everything, like the music that leads in to that whole like backstory and like the flashback, like hypes you up in a way that I haven't been hyped up before.
Or, like the
Mhm.
scanning the dinos scene,
Yes,
that
like
theme
there,
music.
it's so hype in the moment where Ollie and his mom and Amelia are scanning the dino sculptures.
Yep.
Like, why does the music have to be so cinematic? I don't know, but I'm loving it. Like,
Yeah, like that
what?
moment felt so much more like weighted and like
Yeah,
just like dramatic because they're
yeah.
just like, ugh,
And
you know,
like
like
something that I was mentioning to Hawk before we started the stream was that I haven't felt anxious in Power Rangers in a while. Like I don't watch an episode and like feel anxious. I'm not like worried because like it's usually pretty standard. But with this premiere for Dino Fury, there was a couple moments where I was like worried. I was like, wait, what's happening? Why am I feeling this? And part of that had to do with the music. Like I said towards the end, dude, like even like the last second of the episode, like have like a rumbling drum beat behind it. It's like dum 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 dum, and like just ends. And like stuff like that just leaves an amazing impression, and that makes you want to come back for more. I think.
Yeah.
definitely.
Real quick, what's up, K20 Customs? Thank you so much for the follow. Grand Tums, thank you. I don't know if you're talking about my TikToks or his TikToks, but thank you. Hearts.
Oh yeah, both
I think
TikToks.
you guys were talking about the music when they were scanning. I think because Power Rangers tends to be so ham-fisted in that kind of stuff, the music
Mhm.
playing up like the grandiose when they were scanning the thing and then nothing happening surprised me. Like it leading
Mm.
up to something so anticlimactic was like, wait, that was weird. Like I'm supposed to get that Power Rangers supposed to give me that instant gratification. I'm supposed to get that now. Like,
Hey,
oh
where's the explosion?
yeah,
That
open the
something
chamber,
should have
fall
exploded.
in. Come on, let's go. And just the fact that
Yeah.
they made you wait for it a lot more, I loved because, like you said, I did feel that like, oh, okay, something's happening. All the eyes are flashing, and then it was just silence, and it let it breathe so much that when they finally got there, and you're like, wait, but the mom knows this is down here. Like, where's she at? Like, it just opens up so many
Right.
questions.
Absolutely.
Um,
I totally.
Void Knight. Let's talk about Void Knight.
Hmm.
Before we talk about the main cast, let's
Yeah,
talk about the
let's.
bad guy. What do y'all think?
Okay, so this is actually a perfect time for me to mention my thing about the ghost thing that I wanted to talk
Ooh,
about,
fuck.
and
Alright.
it's literally right after the scene with the scanning. So this is perfect. Um, so something that I know about TV and film is that I feel like directors or people that work on the show usually throw stuff on the screen for a reason,
Yeah.
or the dialogue is meant to, it's meaningful. It's not just thrown in there for sake of just throwing something in. And for some reason, when Amelia and Ollie were talking about ghosts when they were putting stuff away, I found myself just like losing it a little bit because I was like, wait, why are we so focused on ghosts? Like, why are we just like talking about this for so long?
They hang on it just
And
a
then,
little too long, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then out of nowhere, Void Knight shows up. And it really just cemented this theory that I have a feeling that because Zato, and this is another thing I love about the episode, because Zato mentions that his team were lost, not destroyed. I have a feeling that it could potentially be maybe all of their spirits or all of their ghosts essentially in that armor, or if not that, because it seemed like when Void Knight showed up to the scene, he seemed like he didn't know what it was or like where everything was. So my other thing is like maybe one of the knights that fought with Zeto sacrificed themselves, losing their memory, everything about them, and essentially just like becoming Void
Like
Knight
an evil
at some point.
persona.
Yeah.
But that was something that stuck with me because I felt like they talked about ghosts for too long.
The ghosts of the past.
Yeah, it stuck with me.
Grantum says, I love Ollie's mom. I love her too. I hope she shows up a lot more, and I hope she's
Me
like the
too.
one person they tell that they're Power Rangers.
Yeah, that would
Yes.
be dope.
Because like if I'm Ollie's
Absolutely.
mom, I'm going back to that site. Like I already scanned it, and I know there's a chamber down there.
I need her to be an ally and not just like kind of like
we
when
have to hide from.
yeah, like kind of like the
Mhm.
Beast Morphers parents, and there's a lot of them in Beast Morphers. It just felt like because we were hiding stuff from them, they didn't get any type of development. And like side characters like that probably won't in Power Rangers a lot, but like they're going to be parents of Rangers. I don't know. I would like a little bit more.
Yeah, and there would be that cool like push and pull between Mama Dino and Ollie's mom of like
Oh yeah,
Mama Dino's knows the stakes, she knows what's on the table. She's like, go out and be Power Rangers, we need this. Ollie's mom is like, hey, stay home and be a kid. Like, I don't want you to risk your life. I would love to see that kind of like tug of war between the
Yeah.
two different philosophies, if that makes sense.
yeah. There's definitely perspective, especially since like Solon comes from like the fight or like war background, and Ollie's mom is just coming from that human aspect, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the opposite way with Void Knight because I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, he's obviously a ex Power Ranger, a former Power Ranger." I think he seems so directionless at the beginning, just like he's not a
Yeah.
pinpointed sniper. He's a blunt force, just swinging everywhere. In terms of he doesn't know what the power source is, doesn't know where the power source is, doesn't know what he's looking for. He's just like, I need this because it's power. Right off the bat.
Mhm.
And then the fact that he's like, oh shit, there's a Power Ranger down here. What? Like, oh my god. Is
The one thing that he knows.
yeah, he's like, "Phew, I know what that is. I've heard of that, obviously, but at the same time, like everyone's heard of Power Rangers, and I think if he was one around back then, he would be a little more intent with the wording that he uses during that scene.
Mm.
Especially
Hmm.
like Ollie pulls out a sword and he doesn't think take a second to think about the sword. He doesn't even think that like, oh, this sword looks the same as mine. He's just like, oh yeah, you want a sword fight? Bring it. And he's like, oh wait, how are you Power Rangers now? Like he's so taken aback by it and so surprised by it that I don't think he has any connection to the past team.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's
That would make sense too.
I can see like I didn't even think about like losing his memory like you were talking about. But he's just so like when Zeto's like, hey, where did you get that armor? And Zay pointed out like Zeto like obviously knows that that's Ranger armor from somewhere.
Recognizes it, absolutely.
Yeah, he recognizes it right off the bat. Void Knight isn't like he's kind of like, yeah, shut up, don't worry about it. Like he's not like there's no grandiose villain thing that you would expect. Like he doesn't seem.
It's true.
I know a big theory going in that Void Knight was Zeto's dad. It doesn't feel like that at all.
Oh,
No, that doesn't.
Why?
I'm not getting that vibe.
Yeah, he just kind of shows up
no, even,
with
like,
this.
mention.
Yeah, he just shows up with this kind of compass and was like, "Oh, there's power. Let me get it." Which I really like because he doesn't seem like he's a big bad. As far as we know, he's a big bad, but he doesn't seem like he has a plan.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and that was my thing. Like, he was looking for power, but did he know he was gonna find sporex? Like, was that something that was
He
in
is
his
so
plan, or was
surprised when he
what
opens it
was
and the
he looking
sporks are
for?
there.
Yeah, so like what exactly was he after?
Mm-hmm.
Because like my other thing is like speaking of the sporex, how do they get there? Because the last thing Zato says was that they were just fighting and then they
He
got
said they
the
locked
power,
him in
and
the chest.
yeah, we were Power Rangers and that was sick. And then I lost my comrades, but that was it. You
Oh,
know?
he talks
So
he
I
talks
don't
about
get
locking them in the chest.
right, but what happens to that like we get there, you know? Like I
Yeah.
didn't
They
guess
definitely
I
never
don't know if
mentioned the
they did, but
spaceship,
we're
which
all
is weird.
right, right. And like that whole like containment situation, I guess is like a mystery to me personally.
Still
Yeah,
the
I
first
feel that.
episode, too.
Yeah, we're 20,
So
30
much-
episodes away from like
So much has
knowing
to happen.
the
yeah,
big
so much
stuff.
speculation though. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about how the like this can definitely tie into any of the old Dino, even not the Dino themed Power Rangers. You can bring in anyone at this point. I think I've seen people comment on my videos. JDF is coming about 20,000 times, which is understandable. Trust me, I would love it. I know a lot of people wouldn't love it.
I want 'em.
Who would be the character y'all want to show up?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I have to think about this one. Are the chat saying anything? I would love any.
Chat, if you could have
Somehow-
one, let's just limit it to Dino Rangers. If you could have one Dino Ranger
Okay.
show
Oh,
up.
Good,
perfect,
better,
perfect,
better.
perfect,
I was gonna
perfect.
say Carter, but like that wouldn't make any sense.
Grant Tumson's Ivan from Dino Charge.
I think that's like the go-to, if not because he's a Dino Knight.
It just fits in
You know,
perfectly.
yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, I don't know.
Zay says an episode where they fight along the original Dino Fury Rangers, like how the Ryo Soldiers fought with their masters at the beginning of Ryo Soldier. That'd be sick. He also said
Yeah, that's interesting.
Chase from Dino Charge. Baja Blast says, give me my boy Rocky. Rocky's back is still broken from doing a spin kick out of a boxing ring. I'll just throw mine out there. I really want Kira to be on tour and just show up and be like, oh shit, there's dinosaur shit happening. Let me morph real quick. Yeah.
Let me just start
Yeah.
screeching real quick.
Yeah, that's so hard to choose for me. I feel like if it was Dino Thunder, Kira or Connor would probably be sick to come back.
I feel like Connor would be
and
way
then for-
too OP. Like Connor, I'd be like, all right, can you stay for the entire season then, Connor, and just fix all our problems? Like just destroy everyone.
Please. And then yeah, no, I feel like seeing Yoshi from Dino Charge would be
Yeah,
cool.
I would say
Coda,
either Coda or Tyler.
Coda
The
interacting
Sodarso brothers
with,
would come back in
Alien
a
Knights
heartbeat.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die Hard Gamer said Kira from Dino Thunder would be nice, but Emma Lahana's living in France. Oh, that's kind of sick. Never mind. Let her live her life.
For her.
Wow.
She is
Everyone in chat telling me Kira's actor doesn't like Power Rangers. I don't care. People like money, okay? She would come back for money. Let me have this.
Here's what I'll say. There was a point in our lives where Austin St. John was like, nah, never.
There was a large point in our lives where Austin St. John was like, hey, screw this franchise.
Yeah,
Never.
dude. So like, never say never, because there's always a digit. There's always a
Never say
digit
never.
that can help.
Manov says, F to all the fallen Rangers. Also, Manov, no, I would not revive the Pokemon to answer your question. Zay says Walter Jones, the OG Black Ranger. Walter Jones, interestingly, does a lot of Power Ranger stuff on TikTok. Like
Surprisingly,
every single like trend, he's on it.
every.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised. Let's talk about our main cast. Let's start with Amelia, our first Ranger we see in the show. Works at Buzz Blast, which so many people love. I am also a lover of the BuzzFeed comparisons. What do y'all think about Amelia?
Well, first of all, Simon Bennett, can I get an internship at Buzz Blast, please? Second of all, I think we talked about, because in her interview with Chris Cantata, her actress Hunter was just so bubbly. That's kind of what I was expecting for the character, but there was definitely like a maturity in her.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there was like a drive to be successful at work, and just like a vibe to her that like seemed welcoming, but also like warm and a little bubbly, which is nice. I love that. What do you think?
I thought she was cool. I thought she also was like strong. Like she wasn't trying to just like be helped or like be in the back. Like
Yeah.
she was definitely there, like ready to fight.
Yeah,
And,
fighting
like-
and letting Ollie know that she could help him as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Like trying to work together, even though they were definitely like not cool, but they were both like adult enough to be like, all right, we're gonna get messed up in this situation if we don't like work together.
Yeah, I dug
Yeah, I thought she was
Amelia.
cool. I like her, and I think that she's gonna be cool throughout the season.
Yeah, I dug Amelia just purely based on one. The walkthrough scene of her at Buzz Blast is amazing. Of she's just like, hey, she's driven to get this article. She wants this article. She's so much so that she's done all her other articles early. Like she's gonna get what she wants. And then going out and blasting Ollie with the net, just perfect Power Rangers hijink to just like throw in there. Didn't feel super off or out of context at all. And then yeah, when they get in the ship, she kind of takes the lead. If that before Zeto makes his grand entrance, she kind of takes the lead, if that's kind of weird to say. Where Ollie's just kind of like, oh, let me grab this, let me do this, let me do this. And she's like, all right, well, let's fight, dude. Let's go. She blasts the dude with the net. They also work really well as a team right off the bat, which is cool.
Yeah. It was nice because like it seems like it's going to be very organic for them to like work well together, because as two strangers that met each other, there was definitely like not the most like comfortable of like, you know, vibe, I guess, but like the way they were talking to each other during the fight seemed like they were trying to make sure the other one was good while also like taking care of what they were doing, and already that's showing like a teamwork that like you need, you know.
Yeah, right off the bat. Grant Tum says, I love how Hunter posts and Power Rangers love the brand on TikTok, Twitter, and Insta. Yeah, they are all over social media. Every single one of them.
They're all up on that TikTok.
Yeah, if you don't follow Hunter on TikTok, she's hilarious and super excited about. I feel like we talked about this before. I love that this season feels like everyone involved likes what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because there are definitely seasons that don't feel like that.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to have not only the cast, but like the people that are running the show be so open with how much they care, just like what they're working on. Simon Bennett especially. It's really cool to see, and I think that also adds to the new vibe that we're getting from Dino Fury.
Yeah, shout out to Simon Bennett for watching Toku the same way that we do. Just piracy online and admitting it.
That tweet that you retweeted made me laugh so hard.
Shout out perfect to him. The main character that I think gets the least kind of like flavor in the intro is Ollie, but also a cool character I feel like from the start, like just an archaeologist with his mom, who I'm super excited to see more of that back and forth with. What do you guys think about Ollie?
Definitely us, right?
Yeah, you.
I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about what I was gonna say. I was telling her like after the first time we watched it, and I kept feeling this way every time I rewatched it, but Ollie felt like the weakest link. That's not, I'm not trying to bash him or his actor. It's more of just there's so many good aspects of this episode. It's kind of like picking your 5 out of your favorite top 5. Like there's always going to be one that's like at the bottom of the list, but that doesn't mean that they're bad. It was just that there were moments where I was like, okay, well, all right, let's go. Let's keep moving.
Like, let's on this.
Yeah, like we're good, you know, but overall, like I like where he's going, because like I don't know, I'm kind of over like the nice blue. Like I feel like we had that with Yoshi a lot. And like Ravi was just like, I was expecting some cool stuff with Ravi, but then they were like, I'm an artist, and I was like, what? Where did that come from? What are you talking about? So like I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe he's a little rough on the edges and maybe bumps heads with Javi whenever he comes into the mix.
Yeah, PCN said it's the first episode I took Ollie with a grain of salt. Like Jem said, I think Ollie just has the short end of the stick in the first episode because there was so much there to get off the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right at the start. Fee, do you have anything about Ollie?
Not that you guys didn't already say. Pretty much feel that way also. I just want to see more from him in the future episodes, hopefully.
Yeah. And like a little on that, I love that they started out with 3 Rangers. So much so that there's only 3 Rangers in the intro. Like, I love that we're not getting the other 2 for a little bit, it seems like. I think the summaries are out through like episode 4, and the other 2 aren't in them yet. So like I kind of like that, like we're slowly building that team.
That's something that I hope they're taking inspiration from Ryusoulger from, because that's something that I loved about Ryusoulger. How like we didn't get all five in the first episode or in the second episode. It took a little bit, and the duo was teased. Like you get like little teases, like oh they're in the bushes or like they're hiding or like whatever. Like they're looking at the team while they're doing their thing. Like there was just little teases, and I hope there's little teases like that if we don't get Izzy and Javi in the second episode. Like I hope there's just like a glimpse of them, or like we see just something, because like I loved that aspect of like building. We're working towards the five. We're working towards that like team.
It's gonna make that first morph so much sweeter. Like I cannot wait to see that first actual morph.
Unprepared. So unprepared.
Not ready. Not ready for the. I'm not ready for the visual effects that
Ooh,
are
yeah.
in the morpher itself, or
Yeah.
like the morph. But seeing all five of them do it, hopefully seeing all the color coded visual effects. Oh my gosh, I love that about Power
Yep,
Rangers.
just the roll call is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And leading that roll call, our last main character of the main cast, our boy Zeto, our leader. I feel like he has and Reds can kind of be too stoic, if you know what I mean. I feel like Zeto has the gravitas to look like, hey, I was alive 65 million years ago. I just learned that it's been 65 million years and that my team has been dead for that long, if that makes sense. Like he just brings, he jumps into the fight. He thinks about the fight. He's like, okay, good guys, bad guys. My homie says these are the good guys. Let's go. There's no like, what are you doing with those suits, those powers? It's like, hey, she trusts you. You're on my side.
We're good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's kick it.
Like there's no time to be like bickering amongst people that are supposed to be your friends, apparently.
Yeah, it's a very volatile situation he jumps into. And I think his level head right off the bat is something cool to see right at the beginning of a season.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they'll dive into this too much, but I'm hoping they do, because somebody commented this on the video that I posted, and like it got me thinking just how they they wanted them to show Zeto kind of adjusting to this day and age, like having hiccups with certain things, or just like
Yeah, big Captain America syndrome.
whatever else. Yeah, like I would love to see more of that, especially with how we were already seeing his mannerisms and like how he is. Um, yeah, I would love to see that side of him, because I know he's gonna do well as a leader. I know he's gonna like. I just feel it. I we were saying this, that I feel like he's already getting into that top 5 Red Rangers for me, just
From
by
episode
that first
1.
episode. From episode 1, and like I didn't say he's there, but he's walking there. Like he's like, oh hello,
He's giving me like Carter from Lightspeed vibes,
Mhm.
because Carter was just
Big
like
time.
ready to accept the mission, ready to like go help people, because he was like already used to helping people because he was a fireman. Like he was just like ready to do it, ready to like lead the team, and like Zeto feels that way as well. That he's just like accepted his mission and like he's good to go.
Yeah.
There's this big air of responsibility to Zeto when they show him on screen. And the fact that he's the one that released the sporex again, I feel like just adds to that responsibility. Like we're going to get that episode where it's just weighing on him hard.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That definitely comes back to how I was feeling towards the end, like the music, what they're talking about, how the actors are portraying it, the script, it just like blended into this like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for this dude, because he clearly feels some type of way.
Mhm.
And I don't know, now they're just on a mission,
Yeah.
and now there's just like a determination and drive to just like get better, train, which is something, oh my gosh, I was telling her, this is it's a swordsman season, right? Like this
Yes.
isn't like beast morphers, like we're not just like spy tech or whatever, we better see some training with those swords, just like in samurai. Like I would love to see combat training with swords, just because if we're gonna be knights, let's be knights.
But
Can I just say how
samurai.
excited I was about when the battle starts, not Javi, Ollie going like, oh yeah, I've done fencing before. And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
A little bit, let's build on top of that. And the fact that Zeto at the end is like, first we gotta get you trained, is like, yes, please.
Let's see it. Let's see
Show
it.
us.
Exactly. It almost brings me back to like Beast Morphers episode 1 when Red Ranger really wants to do the battle simulation, and at the end they're like, "All right, let's get you in the battle simulation or whatever," and then like the episode ends or whatever. I think that is like this times 100. Like I'm just way more excited for the season overall, not just that one activity of training. You know, I
Yeah.
just know that the training will lead to something even better.
Diehard said, so you like to see us training montage. I would like to see tons of training montages. Like,
Absolutely.
if every episode starts with them training, I would be golden.
Over
That's
the moon.
that's amazing. That's literally what I dream of. You
Because
know?
that's what they're doing. They are doing that. You know?
Yeah, if we don't see
Like,
them
it's
training,
assumed.
yeah, exactly. They should be honing that swordsmanship.
Yeah, which leads into Grantums says, can we just talk about the line that if you watch the news, we get Zords? So there's a very, very deliberate way that they talk about Power Rangers as superheroes in this
Yeah.
first thing. Like the whole time, which one makes me think they also sound like they were around, like obviously they were around at some point, and she's like, if you watch the news, we get Zords. So like, what are those other Zords? Who's that other team? Where are they at? But it also like doesn't play on the fact that, I don't know, it just feels so different from past Power Ranger seasons because they were never categorized as superheroes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the closest thing I can think of is Dustin and Ninja Storm. Tori just says, "Oh, Dustin, you should stop reading comics." But like she never like, I don't know. It's they call him like the super. I don't know if they call him the superhero kid. He's the nerdy guy of the team.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't know if they ever in any season have called them like superheroes. But I think the most interesting part about that line is that like um it was almost like, and I think someone has mentioned this before, it was almost like they weren't an urban legend, you know, like it wasn't like something they had heard of. It was like, this is something I watch on the news, like, oh, Power Rangers are back, and like
Been there, done that.
that's something that fans talk about, right? Like, oh, what happens when like the Megazord battle, you know, whatever, like what are all the people doing?
Yeah,
Well,
town
like
gets
now,
destroyed. Where's everybody at?
exactly, and like now I feel like hopefully we'll get more perspective of people's view and like their like point of view. I don't know, I like that they're like hinting at like them being like very grounded in the real world.
It very much makes me feel like it's going to tie back to, and they're leaving the gate open, but it feels like it's going to tie back to the OG Mighty Morphin of like, oh yeah, on the news there's going to be, hey, this is the 25th anniversary of the memorial of this battle. Goldar came down and like used Cyclopsis and all this stuff. Because they don't make it sound like it's actively happening, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It kind of, like you said, it's not even an urban legend, it's history at this point.
Right.
Yeah. So to wrap it all up, I don't want to keep you guys too late because it is super late where you are, and Fee is rubbing her eyes. I can see it.
Sorry.
No, it's totally okay.
She does get tired
I
fairly
yawn
quick.
so much.
It's totally okay. Let me get your predictions for the season. Give me like 3 tidbits of things that I can hold you to the fire on in 6 months and be like, hey, you got it completely right on this.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
I can start with one of mine.
Yeah, do it.
I think Gold, and by the way, TikTok, I see you. I understand now that Gold doesn't have a sword. Stop commenting that on the video and look at the comments beforehand.
Yo, stop coming at my boy. TikTok.
I didn't watch Ryu Soldier. I'm sorry. I've seen clips.
Leave Brittany alone.
I think that Gold is one of the old Rangers. I think that Gold is super, like a Zane type story where they find him encased in ice or something. Like they obviously would have to do it twice, or Gold stepped through the Morphin grid and comes out on the other side in this time.
Okay. That would be cool.
I like that a lot. I like that. I'm like, before you said that, I was hoping that Gold would just be like some teenager and that he would just like learn to be like responsible or mature. But I don't know if we're gonna get that type of storytelling in Power Rangers. So like I definitely like where you're going with that.
So Gold is either a knight from the
think
past or a super millennial compared like from our predictions.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Oh, I think that I would like for Amelia and Ollie to like develop a romance. Like I would be fine with them having a romantic relationship, but like just that.
I am
Just
on
them,
board.
their own thing. Because they're definitely like clashing right now. So for them to kind of like clash throughout the first half maybe and then like in the second half.
Yeah, Ollie definitely thinks she's insane, right?
Definitely. Like
Oh,
mm-mm.
I think my biggest hope for this season is that we get good story and good development for our core 5 rangers.
Mm.
Because six rangers usually get a nice arc or a nice story, and I really want black, green, blue, and pink to feel like they could stand on their own. Like I don't want them to feel like rangers in the past where I just like see them blend in with the wall or just like with the crowd.
Mhm.
I would like them to like be noticed or like feel noticed whenever they're on screen, and that just has to come down to the writing. I feel like how they integrate all these 5 characters together.
Yeah, the actors can definitely do it. They just have to be given the opportunity.
Yeah. This is my biggest theory right now, and I hope everybody takes this with a boulder of salt. But I really am interested to see who's in Void Knight, just because like that is something that is the big mystery right now, right? Like
Yeah.
who's under the mask. And I'm definitely building this up. This was supposed to be a joke. I hope that it's JDF. Because if JDF is Void Knight, that would explain why he knows Power Rangers. And that makes sense, right?
That's your prediction. I'm holding it to the fire. Like literally in 6 months, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like, Jim, you were wrong. Here's the clip of it. Post it
Oh my
everywhere.
Okay. Wait, no, but actually, since we're live right now, I want everybody to hold us accountable for this. I want to place a bet right now that we will not get Jason David Frank in this season.
Right now. You
Because
think so?
I think we
Die
will
Hard
not.
says no more JDF, please.
But
I'm on that boat.
but there's a part of me that thinks that we will. I would put money on it.
I think it is a long shot because of where we're at in the world, but I think it is the
Yeah.
most uh realistic shot we have of who's coming back of an old ranger.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
like hadn't Austin St. John come back last year, probably that would have been my guess, because how amazing would it have been to have the original Red Ranger with the new Dino team?
It would
Like
have
that
felt
would have been
so
amazing.
much better here.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the Dino team up, but it was
That was a
like,
thing.
ugh.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that if they do bring anybody back, that it just means something and that it's not just for the cash grab.
Mm.
K20 says I'll call him and tell him to join Dino Fury. LOL, I got you.
That's awesome.
I
Making a personal call.
I have one more prediction, and I think that I don't know if there's probably no footage for this, but I think green and red don't see eye to eye for a little bit.
Ooh, dude, it's funny that you say that because there's an episode that could definitely fit.
Oh, is
that
there really?
very well? Oh, absolutely. There's an episode I'm just thinking of right now where it starts out with green and red, and it's an episode about them. So I feel like if they use that footage right, we could see something cool. And that's really cool that you just felt that.
I just feel like I wanted to make it Javi, but I'm like, no, I think it would be more cool and effective if it's I forget what her name is, but I think it'd be more cool and effective if it's a
Izzy,
girl character. Lizzie?
Izzy.
Izzy. I think it'd be more cool and effective if it's a girl character. Izzy fits that bill, and I just think Zeto needs to learn. Like we're seeing it in Saber right now. Yuri's like, oh, things have changed. You have to save people to save the world. I think we can get that same kind of story with Zeto and one of the characters, and I would put it on Izzy.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely. That's awesome that you say that, because it's just making me think of Rue Soldier and how Green Ranger really was like little snobby with the rest of the team, and Black was just the strong silent type I would
Mhm.
say like one word or two, and like if Javi ends up being that way, that's cool. But I would love to see Izzy shine more than Javi in that case.
Yeah, 100%. All right, wrapping it up. Final thoughts. What did both of you think of episode 1, Power Rangers Dino Fury? See, I almost did it. I got to the
You did
very
it.
end and I almost did it.
You did it.
You were right
You
there.
got it.
Correct.
Nikes.
What?
Honestly, wait. Final thoughts on the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Man,
I mean,
think
you've watched it 8
overall,
times. You have to put final
yeah,
thoughts
I was,
eventually.
I was gonna say, honestly, it's a great episode, and it really sets up some amazing stuff that hopefully, pays off, because like everybody has been saying this last week, first episodes are always amazing, right? Like it's the one time you get to use so much American footage. It's before you get into the system, right? Before the monster goes giant, we get the Megazord, that whole
Mhm.
situation.
Yep.
So of course it's going to be exciting, but I think we're in good hands this year.
Yeah. I feel like I'm also in the place where like I don't think I need a Megazord battle at the end of every single episode. Like I could take maybe
That's
like
too bad. You're getting it.
Yeah.
you think
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds good just because like I would love if Megazord battles meant more. I definitely feel where you're coming from, but like it's such a staple that at this point I couldn't see them phasing that out, even if even if it's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean I was only talking like maybe 3 or 4 episodes because it's literally every single episode almost every time.
Yeah.
Like so
It is every episode.
Yeah.
uh, but honestly, here's what I'll say about the Megazord fights in Ryu Soldier that we get in Dino Charge, or there it happened.
Yes,
in Dino
it wasn't
Fury.
me. It wasn't me. Let's go.
that we get in Dino Fury is that the suit actor that suit acted a lot of the main robos for Sentai retired right after Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. So when Ryu Soldier came out, we had a new suit actor portraying that big robo, Kishiryu. And I don't know if they changed shooting styles, but there was a lot of like Ultraman influence in it. I feel like with like the monsters looking a little bit more kaiju, like
Sick.
angles feeling like angles you wouldn't see in Power Rangers, but that you would see in Ultraman. So I'm hopeful that like they keep all that stuff, because there are scenes in Ryu Soldier that felt like the standard Sentai fights, but there's some of them that you felt like the Megazord was like lightning mode for Ninja Storm. It was just sleek and it could move around easily, and I love that.
I feel that in Kira Major so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So many good mech battles in Kira Major.
Hawk doesn't watch Ultraman. I watch Ultraman Z. Some of it.
Yeah.
But yes, I still need to finish Orb. Stop making fun of me. Zay says Furbus makes an appearance. Diehard says I was very happy that Austin St. John came back again. So did I.
Yeah.
Grand Tum says I give it a 9 out of 10. I think I'm in that same area, like 8.5-ish, hovering around there. I've watched almost every Power Rangers premiere since it started, and I think this one really ranks up there for sure, because it's just so focused and so, like, we were talking about it before we came on screen, but there's a mission statement at the end of this is what it is. We need to get this done. And I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree, dude.
All right. I've kept you guys too long. Jem, Fee, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me on live stream. I love your new setup. No problem.
Thank you so much. We had so fun doing this. I loved being able to talk about stuff with another fan / creator. So like this was nice. Yeah, you
I
had a good
had
time?
fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Anytime
I think
y'all want.
one last hot take. One last hot take I'll give the chat is that there's a suit that people think is going to be like a good version of Void Knight. However, I don't think they're going to go that route. I feel like they might give that suit to either Solin or Ollie's mom, and hold me accountable to that, because I think that's my hottest take to date.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah.
give me
that's what I'll leave you with.
Give me an old Ranger. I'm all about it. Give me like an older person Ranger.
Right, exactly. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Legacy Ranger coming back.
No. Give me like just, you know, a Ranger that's like, hold on, guys, my back hurts a little bit. Let me slow down. Not so much running.
literally the suit I'm talking about does exactly that. So if they don't make them Ollie's mom, we're gonna be a bum. We're gonna be bummed. But yeah,
You're gonna
dude,
be
thank you so
pissed
much for
and we're
having
gonna
us.
write
No
a letter.
problem. Go check out Prawnhorn Heroes. Prawnhorn Heroes. Literally everywhere. TikTok, YouTube. You don't have a Spotify. I don't know why I thought of Spotify.
That'd be sick one day.
Where else? Yeah,
Oh my
Twitter.
We're on Instagram, but we don't really post there. But yeah, dude, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
No problem. You guys have a good night.
Awesome, yo.
Yeah, you
Have a good
too.
night, everybody.
Enjoyed the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just watched it.
yeah. One thing I will say, just like get ready. Get ready. That's it.
It's dope.
That's it.
Can't spoil us before we start it. That's not nice.
I know, yeah. That's what, yeah, exactly. Just get ready. All right, y'all. Have a
Have a
great
good night,
night.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Prawnhorn Heroes. Like I said, go check them out everywhere because they're legit creators. We have stuff in the future coming.